Okay, here we are back in Sentinels, the Multiverse, and we are on the Brink. So we'll be dealing with Challenge Mode Plague Rat in the block, and we're given Legacy, Raw, and Tachyon. So overall, this isn't really much to worry about. I already have a game of Ultimate Mode Plague Rat on the channel, and he's not really that bad. The team here isn't really... like, there's no particular weak link here, like when I try to use the Sentinels against him. But let's go over how this works in a second. Daily record. Prisoner intake from Revo Corp occurred on schedule without issue. All systems nominal. P.S. There are donuts in the break room. Memo. Code Blue. Please remember to follow standard procedure and report to the infirmary if you observe any signs of illness in yourself or others. Urgent Memo. Code Yellow. The facility has been reduced to a skeleton crew while the infirmary deals with the recent outbreak. Be advised that all prisoners must be confined to their cells. Emergency Memo. Code Red. Lockdown procedure is now in effect. Prisoners found outside of their cells will be shot on sight. If you are sick, you will die. Get out now. Code Black. I will kill you all. So this requires Rook City, which is where Plague Rat is from, if I remember correctly, because the Rook City is both Rook and Pike, and he's from Pike. And then Shatter Timelines is the block. So, a couple ways this can play out in case you're wondering. Plague Rat's deck has a few one-shots. It has just a single target in the form of Plague Locust, I believe. And then everything else is ongoing. So with Drawn to the Flame, you can literally mow down everything. Now the other possibility is you can have Legacy get a double next Evo with the ring and then pretty much absorb everything. Part of Plague Rat's damage is self-damage, so you can actually have Ra put out Imbued Fire and Flush of the Sun God, and then he'll nullify fire that way. So that'll basically nullify all forms of self-damage. For Legacy, you'd want to block Poison and Melee, and you can get to the point where you really can't get hurt. As for Tachyon, this is base Tachyon, which I'd have to say is her worst form. But luckily, it should not really be a problem here. You'll see what I mean as we go. So, for the meantime, let's go ahead and hit New Game and jump right in. You'll see how Plague Rat works. Bite, gnaw, rend. We fight this day for liberty and for justice. So in case you're wondering what the big deal about his challenge mode is, at the start of the villain turn, he deals each non-villain target 1 toxic damage. So if you had Wraith or even Chrono Ranger here, you can basically nullify this. Chrono, you have to get 2 points of damage dealt, or 2 points of damage reduction to nullify. So his isn't really that bad. The thing you do have to watch out for, though, is if he has Plague Locust out, that actually is increased, since this increases damage dealt by him by 1. Also does give him the chance to heal, but hopefully you can see here, ongoing, ongoing, ongoing. 3 one-shots, target. 3 more one-shots, 2 ongoing, 2 ongoing, 3 one-shots, 2 one-shots. Like, I think it's safe to say like half the deck is ongoing, since that's 3, 4, 9, 11, 13, yeah, a little bit more than half. So out comes the Plague Locust, since that's part of his setup. So this is his start of turn damage, which is amped up because of Plague Locust. Then he plays Tooth and Claw, he deals the highest and lowest damage, and then he summons a infected card. So I want to say the tamest person you can put this on is Ra, because with Flush of the Sun God, it will always nullify once Imbued Fire is out. But we're going to put it on Legacy here. So then this is his end of turn irreducible melee. The only way you can actually nullify that is with the next Evo. So you have 2 ways to go about this. If you want to make this a very fast game and are willing to sacrifice Legacy, abuse the Thox while Plague Locust is out, this will deal 3, amplified by Plague Locust, since this boosts the infected guy's damage up to 4. And then if you have Imbued Fire, Inspiring Presence, that's what it is, you can basically increase its damage even further, so it's up to you. You can basically just burn these and then just do whatever damage as it comes. Up to you. But we're going to do next Evo here, and we are going to Galvanize. So real quick, if you don't know how next Evo works, this is a power. You choose a type of damage and you become immune to it until the start of your turn. Now, unfortunately, you cannot nullify that self-damage because the next Evo will expire right before that procs. So just keep that in mind. So for Ra, we want to do Imbued Fire. This is going to increase our damage dealt by Legacy, converting it into fire, but it's going to help us more in the long run if we take a little bit more damage now. Then with Legacy's Galvanize and Imbued Fire, we can hit him for 4 with the Fire. We get Flesh of the Sun God. As for Tachyon, I'm just going to go ahead and play Pushing the Limits. So, the Tooth and Claw will actually deal enough damage potentially for you to redirect, but the other way you can abuse this is using Inspiring Presence and Imbued Fire. It'll increase your self-damage to the point where you can actually redirect with this. It's just, I'm not going to do that this game. So we're going to discard the Sonic Vortex, which gives us Fleet of Foot. And Hypersonic, because Pushing Limits gives you an extra card draw. Out comes Char. So he works at the start of the environment turn. Since he's the first thing here, he is going to be able to act. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So Plague Rat has no loyalties to anything. You find that out in Spades and Villain mode. Shadowy Ambush, if he deals 5 damage, he plays an additional card. So here, you can see we did 3 damage to ourselves instead of what's eventually going to be just 1. We're going to play the Ring, and we're going to nullify our poison damage. So next Evo Toxic, and then we Galvanize. Heroic Interception. So we want to play Flesh of the Sun God here, and we're going to use this from here on out, making the entire team immune to fire damage. So basically we cannot hurt ourselves from this point forward. As for Ra, the damage we deal with him is going to be in the form of one-shots. Fire Blast, Flame Spike, and so on. So we'll use Flesh of the Sun God, and now we can no longer take fire damage until the start of his next turn. So right here, you want to hit yes, and boom. So we're going to play Fleet of Foot, gives everyone 1 card, and we get to play an additional card. We get Nimble Strike. So right here we want to use Hypersonic so that nothing can attack other than us. This is increased to 3 damage because of Imbued Fire and Galvanize. Then we're going to go ahead and use Nimble Strike here so it gives an additional card draw, and we can hit Plague Rat for 3 more. We get Quick Insight, which is no real help. We'll use Rapid Recon. Sucker Punch is worthless to me, so we're trashing that. In case you're wondering, Sucker Punch is decent when you're dealing with guys with lots of low HP targets. The single best case I can give you is Voss, but Matriarch also applies. Since Plague Rat's targets are exclusively himself and Plague Locust, there's literally nothing I can do with that card. It could work on the environment, yes, but So out comes Afflicted Frenzy. This is going to cause even more self-damage, which is why the Flesh of the Sun God and Imbued Fire combo is so necessary. So right here, he's going to try to, well, he's going to attack himself, nullified by Flesh of the Sun God. Then due to the Frenzy, he's going to attack Ra, which is nullified. Now the other part of the combo you can abuse is the Heroic Interception. So when you play this, you hit yourself, Legacy himself does it, for melee damage. So, turn to fire and nullified by Flesh of the Sun God. So right here, if I put this to poison, I will be completely immune to whatever Char does. So he'll basically hit everyone for me. So, switch it over to Toxic, and then Galvanize. So we'll play Staff of Ra. So the thing is, if I don't actually use this, Char's damage will be increased by the Imbued Fire. Increase all fire damage by 1, including his. So let's just do Flesh. There's Flame Spike, we'll be using that next turn. So right here, we want to use Quick Insight. We still have 2 card plays because of the HUD goggles. We drew a Lightspeed Barrage, and we're going to get rid of the Accelerated Assaults here. Then we can use the Sonic Vortex, hit him for 5. So the Plague Looks would only help us in the event that like we can't even hurt ourselves right now because of Flesh of the Sun God. It would only help if I let more people get infected, but that's not the goal here. So we do not want to discard Fleet of Foot because it goes in the trash anyway, and we still get a card play. You want to keep that. Just your incentive for playing it, of course, does give cards to the other guys. So he's going to kill the Block Guard. Prison Riot's gonna summon allies for him. So I need to kill the time-crazed rogue. Another Afflicted Frenzy. So right here we can go ahead and do the Inspiring Presence. This will give us a little bit of healing, but it's going to increase our damage from this point forward. So then we want to make ourselves immune to poison, so we don't have to worry about Char exactly. And Galvanize, of course. You get another Inspiring Presence, but it's limited, so I can't play more than 1. So we're going to use Flame Spike here. This is overkill, but this guy is going to deal 9 damage, I think. Or no, 7 damage. And unfortunately it's going to be guaranteed to go into a hero unless I kill this right here and now. He aims for the second highest, which is Ra. So we get 2 power plays this turn. So we'll start off with Flesh. And then we'll use the Pyre on Plague Rat. Another Flesh. So I don't even know if Plague Rat has anything to destroy ongoing cards. Eventually he's gonna get Sewer Fiend out, I know, which... or no, it's not Sewer Fiend, it's Bestial Vitality, so he takes less damage, but that's not really a problem. So we use Fleet of Foot, gives Scorched Earth, gives HUD Goggles. I can't really use the goggles. So yes, right now the goggles, they do nothing. So Lightspeed Barrage for 9 damage. So Fleet of Foot just hit the trash, which means this one's going to do 10. And we peek at our top card, another Sucker Punch, which we'll just throw in the trash right now. It does us no favors. So there's nothing for Tachyon to do next turn, which is why I really hate her base variant. Anyway, Char's gonna do us a little bit of favor here, due to the rogue. As for this, if I send this into him... yeah, I'll do it. So he's gonna go ahead and kill Char. Well, it's Plague Rat who's going to kill him, but he knocked him low enough. Third Afflicted Frenzy, so hopefully you see the whole Imbued Fire, Flesh of the Sun God combo is kind of needed here. So if I wanted to be a real ally, I could go ahead and bolster allies and try to give Tachyon something to use, but the thing is, her top card is Lightning Reflexes. So, no matter what I do, nothing will actually reach her. As a result, I think my best course of action is probably to Thok Plague Rat. The Rogue will kill the Block Guard, and the next card to come out of here is going to be a Filter Officer. He will shoot Legacy. So let's go ahead and Thok. It's going to give us a motivational charge. So this turn, I'm going to make myself immune to Projectile, and then Galvanize. We draw Fortitude. I want to get motivational charge out, and I'll probably stop Galvanizing from there. But right now, by the way, I should mention for the Solar Flare, if I were to play this like right now and do anything, the self-damage from Ra will be turned from Psychic to Fire, and basically it'll cause Solar Flare to destroy itself. So it's not as helpful as just nuking Plague Rat right here with the Fire Blast. Now, because of Afflicted Frenzy and Legacy potentially hurting himself, let's see. Afflicted Frenzy causes the... Actually, this turn I think I might be best off just using Pyre. Because Legacy is going after the guy with the highest HP, which is Ra. So... I can do that, and then the Filter Guard will actually shoot Plague Rat instead. So right here I'm just going to double skip. See Lightning Reflexes and Synaptic Interruption. A Filter Officer, who could have guessed? So yeah, had I gone Poison Immune, I could have dodged that. Noxious Bite, lowest HP, 3 Toxic. I definitely should have went for Poison Immunity. So this one you want to put on Ra. And this is the end. So his next card is going to be the Bestial Vitality. We want to end it right here and now. So, I could do the Motivational Charge, but it's over. Next Evo, Toxic. So you can see Ra's now taking part in the Afflicted Frenzy, but it really doesn't matter to him. Scorched Earth, and good night. So you can see not really a very difficult one. Not really much more to it though, but one thing I wanted to look at real quick. So our last normal game was Trickster Kismet, and prior to that, it was Can You Dig It? I'm not counting the villain modes because for a lot of these characters they don't have challenges just yet, so we're getting hit with advanced and everything there, and they're somewhat new. But I can't stress enough, like, after the Season 2 Kickstarter, I was so afraid that this was going to happen. Challenge, 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 challenge. For the older ones, they used to be set up kind of interestingly where you had to do certain combos. This one actually did stick to that using the whole Imbued Fire, Flush the Sun God one, but these are just kind of disappointing these days. they're not really as instructive or informative as they used to be. Because for a lot of these, you had to know the actual combos in order to clear them somewhat easily. I could go over specific ones, but yeah, that's... I don't know. So yeah, we can end a little bit on a pessimistic note, and hopefully the ones to come are kind of like this one. But you never really know. With the Extreme Prime Warrens on the horizon, something may happen featuring them. We'll see. Anyway, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.